This is serious. You've never seen before. Think about it. You hear all this stuff. Oh, they're toast. Hey, we wiped them out. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Let's go back to the Vietnam War. Hey, you lost that war, didn't you? Couldn't beat the Vietnamese? Oh, you lost the Iraq War? Hey, how about the Afghan War, the longest war in American history? Couldn't beat those cats. They're a third world country. For years, we've been warning that if the United States and/or Israel go to war against Iran, number one, you're going to see oil prices spike. It will bring down the global economy and the equity markets, and the war will not end quickly. The reason being is that the Iran crisis that happened back in 1979, 99.99% of the people had no idea of the United States overthrow of the democratically elected government of Mohammad Mossadegh in 1953. It wasn't until about 2013 that they finally released the documents. That little clown boy dressed up smoking a cigar that everybody liked, Winston Churchill, gave us World War I and World War II, couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. And Kermit Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt's grandson, telegrams going back and forth. Right there, the only newspaper that I know of that reported them was the Financial Times, saying that we have to overthrow the government because Mossadegh had the gall to say, hey, that oil Iran does not belong to Anglo-Iranian Oil, better known today as BP, or Standard Oil, better known today as ExxonMobil. It belongs to the Iranian people. No, it doesn't. They overthrew the government and put in the Shah. And they also brought in the Savak, the secret police, that made the SS look good. So when the revolution happened back in the late 1970s, that's when I became a political atheist. And that's when I started investing in gold and oil futures back then. Now let's go fast forward to where we are now. You couldn't beat the Iraqis. You couldn't beat the Vietnamese. You couldn't beat the Taliban. What makes you think you're going to beat the Iranians, who are very advanced, as we've been writing for decades, militarily, technologically, and scientifically? There are 91 million of them versus, 7 million in Israel? You don't have to be good to figure this out. We're concerned about Israel says that if they're losing, they have what they call the Samson option, that they go nuclear. They have between 200 to 400 nuclear warheads. Think about this. Here we are, 2026. When I was a kid, you took a photo, you send it out to get it processed, then you get it back like a week and a half. Take pictures like crazy. How come we're not seeing hardly any pictures of what's going on in Israel, about the damage being done? They say that you get fined if you do it. We have no idea of the truth that's going on in this war. None. A false flag event, like a 9/11, people forget. I say with all those fails, they take you to war. Let's go back to little Georgie Bush. Again, your Trends Journal, we'd forecast the dot-com bust. The NASDAQ was down about 80% before 9/11. America's going into recession. Couldn't stand little Georgie Bush. 9/11 happens, but whole game changed. The Great Depression's going on. But on July 26, 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt seizes all Japanese assets in the United States. You know why? Those dirty Japanese invaded French Indochina. Wait a minute. Number one, what do I care? I'm an American. Number two, French Indochina. What are the French doing in Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam? And you're calling it French Indochina? Well, we're in Morocco, we're in Algeria, and about 22 other countries. Google it up, along with the Dutch East Indies. Dutch East Indies? What the hell are they? Oh, the same thing that the British and the UK, where the sun never sets on the British Empire. We're stealing, robbing, pillaging all over. The United States, the UK, and the Dutch cut off 3/4 of Japanese foreign trade. They stole their money and cut off 88% of their imported oil. They only import 98%. I can't figure out why they bombed Pearl Harbor a couple of months later. You got it? They're going to go digital. There's no question about it. Trump's still be writing about it all the time. I mean, Orwell couldn't come up with a better name. Stable coins. I mean, what are you kidding me or what? Look at all the deals going on. Everything's going digital. This way they know every penny you spent, what you spent it on, where you spent it. Most important, they get their tax money, and they'll make up something that this digital coin's worth way more than the dollar, and we just got rid of our debt level. And going back to the equity markets, again, you can't get away with this stuff. I'm giving you 48 hours. If you don't open that Strait of Hormuz in 48 hours, I'm going gotta bomb the hell out of the energy plants. 48 hours go back, what happened? Were the equity markets open over in Asia? Pop! Up goes Brent crude to $112 a barrel. Yeah. Right? Gold prices spiking. Then all of a sudden, hey, I'll give you a couple more days. You got 5 more days, all right? From Genocide Joe to Draft Dodger bombs away Trump. Don't forget to vote for your favorite leader of the political crime syndicate. Just to make it clear. Now that I can't stand any of them, it's Obama, I call him a Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner. I want that guy Assad out of there. I want that guy Gaddafi out of there. Quoted in the book, Double Down. Quote, I'm really good at killing people. I could go on. But anyway, going back to what's going on now and where it's going, we see no end in sight. We see the war continuing and going back to how come this war started. Why? Look at the cover of your Trends Journal magazine a few weeks ago. Trump, it was my opinion that they, Iran, were going to attack us. And we wrote, shove your opinion up your you-know-what. You don't start wars based on show us the facts. Hey, I don't have to show you any facts. Don't you know who I am? It's my opinion. Just look at the facts. As I said for years, you think the United States would have invaded Iraq, Syria, and Libya if their major export was broccoli? Let's go back to Trump. Hey, we gotta stop them narco-terrorists. They're coming out of Venezuela with all these drugs. They're destroying America with these drugs. We gotta get them in these little speedboats 1,500 miles from here. How many months was that going on? And all of a sudden, kidnaps the president of Venezuela and his wife. And what does it come about? Oil. Hell, what did Trump just say the other day? About he'd like to take over the oil. Again, now we have a bunch of political clown boys and girls telling us what to do. Let's stop this stuff. Again, I launched Occupy Peace. I read George Washington's part of his farewell address. He tells the American people, don't get involved in these foreign entanglements. This stuff's been going on for centuries. It's none of our business. There's a great book. It's called War's a Racket by Smedley Butler, the most decorated Marine in history at the times in the 1930s. He talks about how we went to war in South America for United Fruit, for the Brown Brothers, which the Bush family was into. One after another. How disgusted he was about this, about sending us to wars for the big corporations. And Trump said about narco-terrorists, and all of a sudden we're getting their oil. On the pause, why are they saying gold prices are going down? They're saying because interest rates will go up. What were interest rates back in the 1979 when gold was spiking? About what, 14%? What are they now? 3.5, 3.75? You're talking about high interest rate? Has nothing to do with it. What's happening is that gold spiked, one of the reasons why a lot of people started playing the markets. But what happened was, again, it's in your Trends Journal. We had forecast this thing is going down. You have a dot-com bust 2.0. They were pulling out of the private equity groups. They couldn't give them back all their money. All the equities are going down. Again, before Trump gave his speech, we said this thing's going to go down, and they're going to do everything they can to get the people's minds off it. They overinvested, so what they needed this dough back that they made from gold to cover their losses. That's what brought it down. It's gold and silver spiked because a lot of people started playing the market. Yes. So they needed to cover their losses, so they pulled the money out. We're very bullish on gold and silver. It's just beginning. Again, the death of the dollar is before our eyes. Let's go back to last February. The president. I'm going to lower that defense budget by $500 billion, all right? Oh, what did he do this February? Hey, I'm going to increase it by another $500 billion. Wait a minute, you just said you're going to cut it by... I'm saying the debt load is huge. Raise interest rates? Oh, now you got to pay more on that debt level. Powell came out and said the Fed said that no need to hike interest rates because of the oil shock. They're going to do everything they can to jack up the failing markets. Hey, did you see the consumer confidence level down in the toilet? Oh, how the rich are getting richer and everybody else is getting poorer. This thing is with the private equity groups. The people want their money back. What did Moody's downgraded what? KKR to junk? Oh, KKR. Who's in KKR? That guy betrayed us. Oh, he was the general in Obama's troop surge in Afghanistan. Yeah, like George Carlin says, one big club and you ain't in it. And going on, no, we see a dot-com bust. Way overinvested in these dot-com companies. And as we say, the business of America is war and the business of China is business. China is investing very heavily in AI. Go back when Slick Willie brought China into the World Trade Organization 25 years ago. 10% of Chinese 18-year-olds went to college. Now, almost 70%. China's going to take the world lead in AI. India number 2, way over invested in these American companies.